What up, what up, what up? Real Coach JB here, joined as always by the great Sean Salisbury as we get after this second install of Last Chance Q. Sean, what's going on, brother? Glad you can make it in here on this fine Thursday.
Great to be with you, brother. Great to be with you.
Our second install, Sean. I can't be more excited.
Let me tell you something, my man. After the last one, I was so giddy. I'm saying, can we do a 9-hour podcast? But I didn't think people wanted all that. We figured we'd break it up. So great to be with you. I had a blast and got a ton of feedback, and we're just getting started. So let's kick ass, and we appreciate everybody that pays attention to this and has the same amount of laughs. And hopefully we're teaching something along the way and giving them some insight and without a lot of bullshit. So there we go.
No doubt about it. Quote of the day, man, Sean, I wanted to get out there. A mistake repeated more than once is a damn decision. Don't be a repeat offender. I think we see that all across college football, NFL. I think we're seeing it everywhere. We're going to have a chance today to break down Kyler Murray, find out and dissect him a little bit. We got a few fan questions. Why has Kyler digressed, regressed, whatever you want to say? Me and Sean are going to dive into that today. I love to see that. Plus, we have a few little clips of the show they're on HBO.
Hard Knocks, yeah.
And Hard Knocks is, I think, exploiting exactly what me and you've been saying for quite a while here. So I got to get into it. I want to ask you something. Poll question of the day. Does Jeff Saturday get his first win this week versus the Raiders? Very interesting poll question. I think we're going to break into that after we watch the press conference of Jeff Saturday's press conference. I don't know what you
I'll just tell you this. If you're going to win today, this weekend's a good one to get it against with a team that's damn near real and as bad as the Colts are. Oh, they just haven't fired their coach and hired me and you yet in Las Vegas. I'm going to say the chances are, unless you give it to Jonathan Taylor like 48 times, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say the Raiders actually look like a
NFL team,
something that's not the Harry Hatchet-ass franchise. Maybe look like a somewhat of an NFL team that can't quite beat maybe Georgia, but give us something to be positive about. I think Jeff starts out 0-1. If he wins it, it's because of him, but it won't be. It'll be because of good football. We'll see how he does and leads this team, but I'm actually anxious to see how they respond, to be honest with you.
Me too. I am too. We got a Last Chance Q fan question. We got two of them. One of them is from Vinny D803 on Instagram. He said, Sean, he would like to know, how do you balance Zach Wilson's playmaking ability while working on his mechanics?
Great question. Here's what I know about the NFL. It's the most undercoached position during the season on mechanics of any sport at any position. And yet it's the most important position in the world. Now, I don't mean it. I know when people say, what do you mean the left tackle? I'm talking about because the ball's in the quarterback's hands every time. And when coaches in the NFL, the only time they start to talk about mechanics in the fall when the season's going, while they're putting game plans, because everybody's playing with their hair on fire, is when you start to play shitty. And then they want to know about mechanics. And you say, well, coach, we don't work on mechanics. I can pull it out of my ass. And they won't say anything as long as you're making accurate throws, pulling it out of your ass. But the second it starts to sail, my favorite line is, man, you got to bring it down after it landed in the 14th row. Well, no shit. Okay, so the mechanics and all that stuff, right, that's exactly right. And it becomes a habit, and it's got to be year-round. And the quarterback's got to do the lonely work, whether it's with his private coach or the focus of a quarterback coach who watches the little things that become big things. So it's hard to balance. It's incumbent upon the player has got to pay attention, but he also has to have somebody reminding him on a regular basis. Now, not during a game. Hey, it's small conversation, but during the week, you prepare 6 days, and on the 7th, you got to go react and play football. So it's hard to balance because he's exactly right, JB. Our question is, you're trying to make so many plays, and Zach's got great ability. The thing that's holding them back, and even though they're winning and they're a playoff team right now, the next level for him is to be more consistent with his accuracy and decision-making. He'll make the spectacular play, but I know that the ones that sustain greatness in this league make the simple play all the time.
No doubt. I'm glad you touched on that because, you made a great point. These guys that are coaching these guys from half the time don't know what they're doing, so they can't even correct these guys because they're a tight end coach that's the head coach's buddy their whole life. He don't know shit about quarterback play. So So you just said, hey, Zach, hey, come on, Zach, get it down. You just threw it in the 14th fucking row.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious.
Get it down, Coach. Well,
Right.
let's put our fucking face mask on our lead shoulder. Let's get our lead shoulder down here because you're doing this and the fucking ball's going straight up and your body weight's back here and your fucking platform's like this. Like, people don't break it down. So it's a great point.
Yeah. Level your ass out, and when in doubt, play downhill. We don't like to swim upstream, okay? Play your ass downhill, level and downhill. But you're right. A guy who played right tackle coaching quarterbacks because his buddy's the head coach. It's like, I don't want to disrespect you, but they know football. The problem is they just don't understand the mechanics of lower body explosion and quiet upper body and finish and all that. But, hey, that's why you hire guys like you and I in the offseason to go fix their shit that they've been doing wrong.
No doubt. Second question, PMTRK 1790. Can you just give me a fucking name? Anyway, he's on Instagram. He said, Sean, JB, do you think the quarterback position has been dumbed down so teams can play the best athlete at quarterback? Interesting question.
Have at it, brother. What do you think?
We're going to break that down today, actually. So it's a pretty interesting question we threw in there. We're going to break down. There's a difference between athletes playing quarterback and QBs being athletic. I don't know if it's been dumbed down. I don't like to use that word dumb. If you're in the NFL, you're a little bit smarter than probably the average Joe working at fucking Walmart. No offense, but you're probably a pretty smart kid. Most quarterbacks I've ever been around are pretty damn smart. But at the same time, I would rebuttal that question, Sean, with is the verbiage from the coach too extensive for the kid that's coming out of college that's only running offenses that have fucking play cards on the sideline and they're not even hearing any verbiage and don't know anything about protections, opposites,
right.
Two plays? I don't know. I'd rather ask that question because I don't think they're dumbing it down. I just think that we're using college systems now in the NFL more than we've ever done.
And let me rephrase it because I'm with you. I don't like the phrase dumb. There's guys who play stupid football sometimes, but there's not a lot of, the playbook's this thick in the league. So, and they got to memorize it and apply it and drop back in 2.7 seconds and deliver the ball to a moving target on time to about 65% of you can't play in the league. Well, yeah, you're about to get the shit kicked out of you. So not dumb. I get his point though. For me, it's not that, but they've taken away all decision-making for the most part at the college and high school. Everybody's snapping their head. So by the time they get to the NFL, they're behind. Unlike back in the day, when the coach says 2-minute drills on you, or you get us to the right protection, or I know they did it in San Francisco and we did it with Brian Billick, who was a Bill Walsh guy, is he'll give you the play. You understand during the week of study what the formation and personnel is that goes with it. Nowadays, it's like, if you're not sending everything in, unless it's a certain group of old school veterans, your head's over there. They're telling you everything to do. Reading coverage after they send it in, they're saying, hey, it's cover 2. Look for the bender. And it used to be the quarterback did all that. And once you gave me the signal, I wanted you to shut the hell up. I didn't want to hear from you. So, yeah, dumb it down. No, make it to the point where they don't have to, that everything's being done for them other than delivering the football and being a decision maker once the ball snapped. All the pre-snap stuff, I guess is what I'm saying, seems to be on guys at a younger age on the sidelines than it does with the quarterback directing traffic and understanding concepts.
Hey, well, that's a hell of a start out for this. We just kicked this damn show off. This is the second install brought to you by Betonline.ag and DVSport. We'll see you on the other side for the greatest show on turf and the greatest football show on planet Earth. Stay tuned.
The Pirates have won it for the first time since 1987.
I'm back. Let's go. Welcome to Last Chance Q with myself, Coach JB and Sean Salisbury.
We will not talk over the amateur or under the expert.
It's not only the X's and O's, but it's about the Jimmys and Joes.
And it's not just quarterback. We got all the positions, teaching, coaching, laughing, and joking.
We're using football terminology so we can get through this faster than we don't want to use these long terms, Coach. We got quick verbiage to get to the point. Last Chance Q with the great legendary Sean Salisbury. All right. We're here, Sean. That's a hell of a fucking 8 minutes to start off the show with before we even get to the intro video. You gotta love it when you like doing what you want to do, brother. It feels like you never work a day in your life, is what they say.
I am with you, my man.
No doubt. Pre-snap read, brought to you by Canadips. I want to get into this, put it on the ticker here. Jeff Saturday's press conference, Sean, I don't know if you saw it or not. Pretty interesting deal. I wanted to share that with us real fast so we can kind of walk ourselves through it. Let's see here. I think I know what I'm doing. This was his introductory press conference, Sean, and I put it at a time where we can actually he got asked a question about, it's pretty ironic situation he's in. He's in a peculiar situation. Is he accepting of it? What does he think about it? Everyone else is saying, the naysayers are saying, just kind of like me and you, like it's a slap in the fucking profession's face. But I do like what he said. I think he dropped his nuts and let him hang, which he should. He played in the NFL 14 years. We can argue he's probably a top 10 center. Maybe he does demand the locker room, has that presence. We'll see if he has that executive presence. We talk about having the it factor. But I just want to get your take on what he talks about here.
And I'll address, I know the question I'm sure is going to get asked, but, the Rooney rule, I'll be honest with you, it's an important rule. I do not diminish it 1 second, right? I believe and understand fully why it is as important as it is, right? I don't minimize. This is important. My role here is for 8 games. When this is over, they will do an exhaustive search and pick whoever their best candidate is to be the head coach of the Colts. If I'm considered, I'd be honored. I have no idea where this thing is going to go, not even a little bit. And I'm not, but I can assure you that's going to be handled. That from the organization's perspective, from my perspective as a man, like I'm good. And here's the deal. Everybody talks about I'm completely comfortable in who I am as a man, bro. I know I can lead men. I know the game of football and I'm passionate about it. I have no fear about, are you as qualified as somebody else, bro? I spent 14 years in a locker room. I went to the playoffs 12 times. I got 5 dudes in the Hall of Fame that play with it. You don't think I've seen greatness? You don't think I've seen how people prepare, how they coach, how they GM, how they work? Won Super Bowls, been to 2. Like, here's the deal, man. None of us are promised a good job. I may be terrible at this. And after 8 games, I'll say, God bless you. I am no good. I may be really good at it. I got no idea, but I dang sure ain't going to back down. I can tell you that. Listen, if life ain't an adventure, it ain't for nothing. It ain't for me. I'm ready to go do this. I take a challenge head on, and I know. And listen, everybody can say whatever they want, and I appreciate that. But from my perspective, when I was asked, they said, hey, we're following every rule. At the end of the season, you aren't promised anything. Perfect. Let's go with that, and I'll move forward. I have no fear if I'm no good.
I don't have an issue with what he's saying. I like he let his nuts hang. My only issue, Sean, and I would love to get your rebuttal on this one. A lot of people don't have the luxury of the Jeff Saturdays in this profession. As someone he's speaking from, the guy that's clawed, scraped, and had to sacrifice a lot just to coach and do what he wanted to do and not do what he has to do, right, to survive. I know a lot of guys that are qualified right now that are scraping and clawing at fucking Alabama A&M, and when they get fired, Sean, they're fucking working at Walmart. He has an opportunity to go right back to ESPN. That's why he said, after 8 weeks, I don't make it. Hey, so be it. Well, it's kind of a slap in the face and an entitlement in that regard. I don't blame Jeff Saturday. He's been put in this position. He's been put in a position to fail, Sean. I guess we could argue that. But I don't mind how he is. His back's against the wall. I'm going to come out fighting just like you are. I think Jeff's the same way. I just don't know if he understands the profession of it. And he's slapping a lot of cats that have bled, sweated, and cried over this game, trying to get in there. And they don't just get handed fucking head coaching jobs in the NFL like he did. And when they get fired, Sean, it's very, very hard to get back up and get on the saddle. He can go right back to ESPN and live a happy life.
Right. I'll tell you, he didn't lie about anything, though.
No.
That's just he didn't. Listen, all of us would have taken the job because an opportunity. And yes, is he in a privileged situation because he's got a relationship with the owner? He did get to play 14 years. He was damn good at it. He's got a TV job where he's good on TV and they like him. Hell, it sucks to be talented at multiple things, right? He didn't lie one bit in that. Listen, if that's the only time I ever heard Jeff Saturday speak, he's got my attention.
Yes, he sold me. He sold me.
Right. And I do believe after 8 games, if he thinks he sucks, I think he moves on. I do. And to me, he handled it to perfection. It's not his fault they came after him. If he wants, listen, we're all looking for opportunities. One man's loss, another man's gain. Now he's going to get and I know he knows this, but he's going to get. It's going to be, even if they're winning, he's going to realize what it takes, the grind it's going to be, just like a player, and even then some. Because you're not just responsible for
real quick.
You're responsible for 60 other dudes and everything. That's right, and you'll get found out in a hurry, good or bad. Yeah. So. I'm pulling for him because he gave me the answers I needed to hear. He addressed what's going to happen when it's over. He addressed that he's not backing down. He addressed that he knows football. I can tell you this, and you too, I know all the football I need to know to be a head coach. I don't know all the routine it takes to be a head coach of the NFL today without any experience of coaching, but I'll damn well tell you, if I got a relationship with somebody and he offers me a gig, that's what every other coaches get it, because relationships. And then it's like anything else. Listen, you want to make me the CEO of a company? Well, I don't know the product. I'll learn the damn product. I can lead people, and he can lead people. He's been with the greatest leader maybe ever in team history that was right behind him. 2 alpha males, as I said. So I thought he handled the press conference. I thought it was fantastic. I don't know what else I wanted from him. Now they got to go put it into action and make sure the X's and O's work, because all said and done, if you got bad players or the players don't execute, it doesn't matter how good a coach you are. And the great coaches will maximize it. We're going to see how they respond. But I'm going to tell you, if I'm a player listening to Jeff Saturday, I'm like, all right, you may have got this job by default. Not may have, you did. And a whole bunch of people are eyeballing you saying, I deserve that, you didn't, in your own building. But that's okay. Listen, somebody punches you, I'm not walking away from my ass is punching back. Jeff Saturday, I feel like, has that same thing. Now you got to go do it. And he knows that. He's got an 8-game audition. And then he's got to go back into the interview pool. He's fortunate with the interim tag that he didn't have to go through the interview process. They loved him, and it's a relationship. So we'll see where it goes. But he didn't lie to me one time in that press conference. There was no bullshit from him, and I'm good with that.
Let me ask you this, Sean. You're a fucking well-rounded human being. You know basketball. You played it. I played it. I mean, I played at Artesia High with the O'Bannon brothers and Andre Miller. And I've been around all these guys. James Harden went to my high school. We've sent out a lot of NBA guys, and I know basketball pretty damn good, just like you know it. And I know enough about baseball. You know fucking way more. We're pretty well-rounded dudes. We can sit up here and ad-lib about any fucking sport in the world, I think, without having a script in front of us. Explain to me. I'm asking you because I don't know. I'm a novice fan sitting in the crowd. Why is Jeff Saturday getting so much heat? And fucking Steve Nash got anointed, and he'd never coached a goddamn thing in his life, and the players asked for him. I'm confused on what the differences are, and his ass just got fired after being basically thrown in the mix without having to go through any damn interviews as well. What's the difference in this thing? Is there one in your mind?
A little bit. The players selected Steve Nash, Kevin Durant, Harden. They wanted him there.
And they wanted him out.
That's exactly. And then they wanted him out. That's exactly right. So the same things that make you laugh, make you cry. And let's make no mistake about it. This is a 2-time MVP who knows X's and O's. We've seen guys go from TV and Steve Kerr front office TV to winning NBA titles. So they did it, kind of not too much older than them. I mean, it's been a while since he played, but the players, regardless of what they tell you, the players helped make that decision. If Kevin Durant didn't want him there in the first place, Steve Nash would not have been the coach, just like they didn't want him there now, and he's out. That's a dysfunctional organization. So you're exactly right. There were some who had a problem with it. It's the hardcore coaching profession said, well, what's he done other than lead the point? Well, we know Steve Nash knows basketball. We know he was a hell of a player. It's just a different thing. And Saturday's relationship was with the owner. Steve Nash's endorsement came from the players. And if Kevin Durant wants you or likes you, well, then I guess it's got to be okay, right? Just as quickly as he likes you, they can run you out too. That's
Yeah,
that's
I agree with you on
because
that.
there's no player going to run out Jeff Saturday. If he leaves, it's going to be because his buddy and the owner don't because they're 0-8 or whatever it is that he does. If that's what it turns out to be,
I agree. Moving on, Sean, in this portion of pre-snap read, 7 rules of coaching. Man, I've always had 7. I think the rule of thumb is 7. I don't know why. Whoever made that, the football gods, I learned that way. I just ran with it. Because I didn't question anyone back then. But I wanted to bring up my 7 rules, and I wanted you to chime in and get in on these. I think this is something we don't. Let me get rid of this. We don't talk about enough, in my opinion. I think. Let me put it up here. I don't think we make peace with our past in any profession. I don't. I got to do it. I got to eat crow here and there, and I got to make peace with my past, so it doesn't disturb the future. And that's kind of what I mean by having said that. I always used to tell my players and coaches that way. I said, "Hey, man,
I'm taking some of these notes too, brother. I'm taking notes because I want to hear these. First time I've heard your 7 rules of coaching, so I want to hear them.
Hell yeah. Hey, I'm like, Sean, fuck, I don't care where you came from. And I don't care if you got cut at Alabama and you ended up with me. I don't care. I judge you for who you are and how you are with me, not how you were with Nick Saban. I do not judge you. Now, if you're the
guy who there's a reason the windshield's bigger than the rear view mirror, correct? Because
Yes.
I know I've been to my rock bottom, and it's not a life sentence because you made a mistake. It's temporary unless you decide to keep repeating that mistake, which goes along with your opening quote that you started this show with.
Yes, repeat offenders.
Right.
Sean, my thing is this. I went in our team buses. We had our own buses from the college, and I took the fucking mirrors out. And in a bus, you did the rear view mirror in the middle of the truck. It doesn't matter anyway. But the kids don't know that. And there's no fucking window in the back of the bus. There's a goddamn bathroom. So he's not looking 60 feet behind him anyway. So I took the rearview mirror out, Sean, and I said, we're not going that way. It only deters us from looking ahead. That is the same reason in this thing. Make peace with your past. It'll disturb your future. That is, I start off with my 7 rules, starting with that. Number 2, what other people think of you is none of your business. I don't care. I think that's the hardest thing now, Sean, for these young coaches, young players. I think social media has allowed them to see it at an all-time high. We launched our first show last Tuesday, and we put a video on Twitter. It's got 20-something thousand views, and we're loving to get it out there. We want to get this thing blown up, and 20,000 people saw it in a matter of a couple hours. And that is the world we live in now. So I think people that say the positive and the negative, you see it now at an all-time rate, to where before we would be like, shut the hell up. We don't really care what you think. Well, you got to really be disciplined in this number 2 here, because
you got to compartmentalize. You have to, because no matter how good or bad you are, there's still going to be people that like you, still going to be people that can't stand you. It's real simple. It's the third rule, right? A third of them are always going to love you. A third of them are always going to hate you. The third in the middle is, if you want to convince them, go win, okay? And don't give a shit what they think, because if you win, there's plenty that are going to hate you even when you win. So really, who gives a rat's ass what they think? Because you're putting your balls on the line every single day and your ass on the line. But you don't want to be an asshole about it. But if you're worried about the person in the 15th row or on Twitter making decisions for you, you're not going to be worth a hoot anyway.
Nah, and you're right. It leads on to number 3. The only person in charge of your happiness is you, brother. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. You're the ultimate one. You're the one that has to delete the tweet, resend the tweet, like the tweet, whatever the hell it is you do. You're the one at the end of the day. Life's about choices. We all have them. So you might as well live a happy one instead of a goddamn miserable one. Number 4, don't compare your life to others. Comparison is the thief of joy. Man, I want to be Nick Saban so bad in this business. Like, I used to have coaches say that. I'm like, dude, why? Go be your own man and be better. And I don't think we think that way anymore as coaches or players. I don't really think we think that way.
That's a great point. We're in the comparison world. Keeping up with the Joneses, quite frankly, it's cost a lot of Bill Belichick's assistants jobs.
Yes.
trying to do what Bill does. There's only one of those cats. Go do you.
No doubt. Time heals almost everything. Give it time. I mean, it really does, especially in America, man. America forgives and forgets. You may have receipts. That's why we talked about the other day. Be smart on social media. Social media fucking is a receipt. If people screenshot your deal now, it's a receipt. So be careful on that. But time heals almost everything. So get over it. Give it time. Stop thinking so much, Sean. It's all right not to know damn near every answer. Be a football thief. Go steal the answers and blend them with your own. Like I take it. I tell everybody every day, Sean, this is a thieves game. We need to take shit from everybody and massage it into our own. And now it's Sean Salisbury's fucking playbook. Now it's Coach JB's playbook.
Hey, there's only so many things you can do, JB, with 22 dudes on the field and 100-yard long, 53 and a third wide, whatever it is, 52 and 2/3, whatever that 53 yards.
You're right.
52 yeah. So there's only so much you can do. It's now how you get to it, how you dress it up and window dress it, and how you speak it, and how you lead it. All the other shit. Listen, a curl's been a curl since 1940, and a curl's going to be a curl in 2040 and in 3040. But how you present it and how you get people to buy in, you're 100% correct. Hey, dude, well, the whole league is based on taking other guys' shit and making it better with better players.
Now they're taking college people shit.
That's exactly right.
And Sean, as me and you did the other day, as so eloquently put, when you were talking about Santa Claus and the bag of tricks hanging to his dick, fucking smile. Fuck.
It's just a good laugh.
You don't own all the problems. Sean, you don't own all the fucking problems in the world, man.
Exactly. Nor do I want to, and nor am I smart enough or big enough to take them all on. Hell,
No
I got
shit.
enough problems dealing with myself, brother.
No shit. Man, moving on. Talkers versus doers, Sean. It's one of my worst pet peeves, man. I fucking can't stand a talker versus the doer. I'm going to fucking light this cat up. This defense is horrible. And I used to hear that shit and walking in the office, and I would absolutely just motherfuck the team because I already knew where your focus was, and it ain't where it's supposed to be because you worried about them other than worrying about yourself. And then practice one comes, Sean, that week, and your quarterback who was talking all that shit, he fucking looked horrible on film. And then practice two comes in, and he's still talking that shit. You better get a hold of it real quick. I used to say this right here, Sean. Your words start to lose fucking value when your actions don't match. And I use that all the time, but I can't stand a talker. I want a doer. And Sean, you said it earlier, the first show, or install one. Marcus Allen, stay afterwards, get catches, get jump cuts in, pick up pass pro, hit the bag, sled, whatever it may be. You talked about all these greats, Ronnie Lotz, and all these different guys that have come through the legendary Trojan program, and what they did when you weren't watching. And that's not a talker. That's a fucking guy going and doing it. We got too many guys talking about, I'm going to do it starting Monday. I'm going to start fresh Monday. No. Why? You're going to miss Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
You know the guy that scares me the most, JB, in life? It's like, think about the guy who sits at the edge of the bar. You're at a restaurant. Guys are chattering. And everybody else, they're chest to chest. And, oh, you push me up. And they're I'm going to kick your ass. And then you got the one cat sitting at the edge of the bar who's about 6'2" and about 210.
Like this.
Eating his sandwich, drinking a cold beer, and guys are hassling him. He's not doing anything. And you're like, oh, come on, what are you, soft? You don't want any part of this? They keep bumping him in his back. And you think, oh, this guy wants no part of this. And then all of a sudden, in about 8 seconds, he hadn't said 2 words, but he has whooped your ass 6 ways to Sunday. I could tell you that because I saw it happen in college at a bar with one of my good friends. I'll leave his name out. Didn't say 5 words. It's tough as 100-year-old leather. So one of the tough son bitch from Edison High School. You know exactly where that is.
Huntington Beach.
Yeah, damn right. And, dude, I'm telling you right now, these guys were drunk, a couple fraternity guys. He was eating a bowl of chili and drinking a beer at a bar right off campus. And I'm standing up next to him. We're laughing, having a good time. He's such an unassuming guy. But on the field, tougher than hell, right? These guys kept bumping into him, and I tried to talk. I was the talk trying to say, "Come on, fellas, we're just here having a good time." And
You're
they're
the
chattering,
mediator.
and all he's trying to, and it's, you're eating, and he keeps getting bumped into. And finally, he put it down and looked at him, and I said, "It's okay." And I said, "I'm gonna tell you guys something." I kind of give him that kind of fun warning. I said, "You got to stop because that's the wrong dude, man." And dude, it happened about 3 more times, and he goes just like this, pops up from his chair, boom, 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 boom. Lights out. I'm talking about lights out.
Yeah.
Sat back down, took 3 more bites of his chili, finished his beer, and I said, my man, why don't you get out of here just in case? Casually walked down the stairs, took his ass home. And I'm telling you, those guys couldn't have said fraternity any quicker than he went 1, 2, 3. And the coolest bastard on the planet. He didn't bother anybody. He didn't pick a fight. And he finished his beer before he left. And I thought, you cool. And right then and there, I said, see, it's the quiet dude. It's the same thing here. Not that talkers aren't good, but the guy who's the trained killer on the field is the guy who tells you after, not before.
No question, man. My dad was that way, Sean. I never seen nothing like it. Like in a bar fight, I'd never seen nobody like it. I grew up with some straight gangsters type of cats. They wore fucking glasses, reading glasses, and a buttoned-up shirt to class every day and set their ass in the front fucking row.
Yep.
And you had a 4.0, Sean. And we're like, oh, man. Come to find out this motherfucker's murdering dudes every single night. He's in jail for life. This motherfucker come to school and smile and be the coolest dude you've ever met. And he's got all A's. And you're finding out this dude's a fucking straight killer in the streets every night. And people don't realize that shit, man. It goes a long way. So talkers versus doers is a very, very critical element in this profession, in this game of football and in life. Correction is not criticism, Sean. I don't know if people realize that as much as they say it. I used to say it a lot on the show. I think we coach it. We coach it. We want to get the best out of them. And then at this point in my life, looking at the field, looking at coaches, looking at players, this is the quote we started with: "The mistakes repeated more than once is a decision. Don't be a repeat offender." I believe now, Sean, in this generation, we are allowing it as coaches more than we've ever seen it or done it in our careers.
They're afraid they're going to lose the guy or transfer or quit on him if you criticize.
And now we got more repeat offenders than we've ever had, Sean.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I believe most kids want to be coached.
Me too.
There's a difference between coach and constructive criticism. There is just being a yelling and screaming, berating asshole as a coach.
I think they want discipline.
I do. They crave it.
Yep.
They friggin' crave it.
Yep.
And it's the guy who's afraid, well, what if he doesn't like me as a coach? Or what if he leaves the program? Oh well, he was never going to be in it for the haul anyway. He's not worth the powder it takes to blow him to hell and back. These kids need to know you care about him and love him. And part of caring about them and loving them is making sure they do it the right way all the time, not some of the time. And when they make a mistake, it's not a life sentence. Shit happens. But when you keep doing, listen, going through a yellow light on accident is a mistake. Rolling stops at a red stop sign on a regular basis and getting pulled over, that is a what do you call it? Not a mistake, but that is a what's that again? That's a trend. It's what you do. It's who you are.
Yeah,
okay. So that's not by accident. Accident go through a yellow light.
That's a personality trait.
That's exactly right. There's a flaw there somewhere, no doubt about it.
Or you're rolling through red lights and you got a fucking beer between your legs.
A tall boy opened. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
1st and 10 segment.
First down.
Well, it's first down. I wanted to get into a great debate I want to have with Sean, man. This is something that I've been thinking about, and a lot of people have brought up to me, and I keep hearing it all the time, how college football is dominated by Nick Saban right now. And I wanted to bring this to Sean's attention. Pete Carroll. People are forgetting about this man. I think he's the NFL Coach of the Year right now. He's one of 2 humans on the planet that have won a national championship in college and a Super Bowl. He's been to multiple of each. Him and Jimmy Johnson share that. Nick Saban, you can argue, went to the NFL and kind of imploded, didn't get it done. He left there and said, I like recruiting. I like the college world, which is nothing wrong with it. And he's been one of the most dominant college football coaches of all time, if not the most successful coach of all time. I would throw Urban Meyer's name in there too, just for me being a college coach and dealing with all three for a long time, sending players to every one of those guys' programs. But what I will say is this, Sean, and I want to hear your rebuttal on this. I can't wait to hear it, actually. I've had great coaches tell me, the difference between the two. One of them is dominating right now in college because the other one is in the NFL. What do you have to say about that?
I think there's a tendency to agree with it. I have a tendency to agree because what Pete was building at USC until it went south at the end there with some sanctions and stuff, and Pete wanting to get back in because Pete the first time around had some success, but he didn't have the success as a head coach that he wanted the first time around. Right? Went to USC and killed it, and he's a legend there and a college football legend, and it probably should be a college football Hall of Famer. Maybe he is. I don't even know. But if he's not, he should be because he not only changed the program got it on track, but he changed the surrounding area going into the city, not only recruiting, but changing lives. He did so many great things there, and Pete's a great salesman. And those two guys right there will both tell you, I would imagine. Nick Saban may never think he's the best coach, to stand up and say, I'm the best coach. There's a lot of great coaches. What Nick Saban is the best recruiter in the world when he goes out and recruits. And Pete Carroll's the same way. They both know football. Don't misunderstand me.
Yeah.
But they know what makes people tick, and they are able to do it. Do I think Nick's national championships would be as many if Pete was still in college? Absolutely not. But here's what I think. I think it's like a Thrilla in Manila, dude. I think one takes a punch one year and knocks him. Kind of like what Dabo's and Urban been trying to do. And you're starting to see some guys trying to – well, Kirby Smart's trying to do the same thing. And he's got him the last couple of years, right? So I do. He may not have as many, but I'd still be hard-pressed to say that Nick wouldn't be the greatest coach of all time still in college football. But I think the landscape would be different. And now with Lincoln Riley there, he's trying to say, well, let me see if I can catch back up and get this thing done. But the whole key is Nick's been able to get great players. There's been times at SC with that fence around the city, around the 100 square miles, has been pushed down in Oregon and Washington and Alabama and Texas and Florida State and Clemson have all gotten those players. The best thing you can do if you're Pete Carroll, and Nick knows it, go in and steal one or two. Oh, come on here. Bring our quarterbacks from L.A. to 4 or 5 different schools, and Lincoln's going to try to fix that. But, yeah, that's what makes Nick who he is. But Pete had the fence around it, said, oh, you ain't coming in here. We're keeping these cats here. That's the whole key. So I do think your coaching friends are right. But I also know this, that it would be a battle, 2 heavyweights swinging at each other on a regular basis. And they'd have both knocked each other out once in a while.
It would have been great to see.
Absolutely.
And knowing both of them and knowing their both personalities are quite different, but similar. It's hard to say. It's hard to
and
explain.
they both recruit.
Yes.
They both recruit.
And the thing about it is, though, I want to make sure let's make no mistake here. There's a head coaching texting rule in college football, the NCAA put in place a long time ago, and that was a Pete Carroll rule. It was not a Nick Saban rule. Head coaches could not text the players. That was because SC was locking down everyone. Nobody left SC to go to the SEC. Nobody. And he would go into the SEC territory and grab their best player, similar to what Nick Saban's doing now coming here. So it was there. By the way, Pete Carroll never lost to an SEC team, and I think he beat Oklahoma, Auburn, and Arkansas like 55-10, 55-0. I mean, it wasn't close when Auburn and Arkansas was actually pretty good with McFadden and Miss Mustang at quarterback, and SC beat them by 50.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
And that's the thing about it. So let's just look at some history. I think it would have been a great battle royal, like you said. But there is some rules put in place for Pete Carroll, and Nick Saban is now a beneficiary of those rules. So, Sean, loyalty versus money. We talk about it all the time. I think we're seeing it at all-time high. I think we're seeing kids transferring from school to school because of that. The actual disloyal or unloyal or have no understanding what loyalty even means. We're chasing this big proverbial bag we like to call this money. We're seeing it at high school levels. We're seeing it at the college level. Kids are transferring 3 and 4 times. Your your neck of the woods, Houston Astros World Series champs. They Justin Verlander, probably the most recognizable face on that roster, becomes a free agent after winning the Super Bowl, or actually after winning the World Series. Is it selfish of him to already become a free agent? I understand that the Astros have first dibs at him, but for me and I think our generation, I would have loved to see a guy walk in there like Roquan Smith for the Bears and say, you know what, I know I'm under a contract. I'm gonna give you my all and bust my ass because I'm loyal because you already paid me. But instead, we're demanding trades now. We got guys that don't even want to play for their organization. And Brandon Cooks over here in Houston Texans, and then now Verlander's a free agent. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it.
Yep. About Verlander, let me tell you why this is different. And in some cases, you're right, JB, about a few things. Now, here's what the counterpoint's going to be by some. Well, coaches do it all the time, and they're right. How many coaches say this is my dream job and go to 3 different ones, and they're all their dream job? They're full of shit, a lot of them, right? I mean, they're loyal. They'll up and leave for $2 million. The loyalty's to the coin, to the bag. It is. We know that. Now, there are the rare cat, because when I was playing, you couldn't up and go that way. Nobody was letting anybody leave. Kept your team, and you're the same guys are there 9 years. You had the same – you go back to training camps like, dude, I see your dumb ass again for 10 straight years. But that was good. And fans got to say, my favorite player wears 55, and he still wears 55, and he's always wearing 55, and he was here from the time I was 8 till the time I was 20, right? But it's changed. I understand the landscape of everything's changed. And so I don't blame them for wanting to get paid, because in truth, and another thing is, when you're used up or they don't think you can help them anymore, they will cut your ass 6 ways to Sunday. So I get it. I'm with you. The old school loyalty, like, man, I want to see Kenny Stabler and I want to see him on my team all the time. Or Dan Fouts play his career in San Diego with the Chargers,
or Kobe and
Kobe,
Larry
right?
Bird.
That's Larry Bird with the Celtics, or Magic Johnson. That's exact. Larry Bird wasn't ever going anywhere. It wasn't debatable. Now it's always debatable, and the players get to determine a lot of it. Which, okay, the problem is you give them the leeway. If the player wants it, if the owner and the coach are dumb enough to do it, we should be blaming them more than the player. Yet, if you're under contract, and I know you want to, like Lamar Jackson, he's in a lame duck season he's going to get paid, but damn, I give him a lot of credit, because a lot of guys would have said, screw you, I'm sitting at home until you pay me through training camp. But he's going out there and busting his ass and putting it on the line. In the Verlander case, real quick, this opt-out is, and he's done it before, he signed a 2-year, $25 million a year contract, coming off the injury, and goes wins the Cy Young. He's going to win it, and the World Series champion. Jim Crane and him, the owner, have a great relationship. The opt-out's no surprise, because what's going to happen, he opt out of his contract, they're going to turn right around. They got till 4 o'clock. By the time, they see this, they had on Thursday till 4 o'clock to exclusively negotiate with Justin Verlander until other teams could jump in. What this simply is opting out to go get $40 million a year. Now, I believe that he's going to get 2 years at $80 million and get paid the kind of money that Max Scherzer got when he in his later age, because they're both really good. That's the comp. So Verlander didn't opt out to automatically leave. He opted out to give more money, but is going to meet with the relationship with the owner and try to hash this out. Now, if they offer him $60 million for 2 years at $30 million a year, and the Yankees come in and say, here's $100 million for 2 years, well, then the decision's easy for him. I don't think he leaves for 2 or 3 extra million at this stage of his career, because he's going to win. He wants 300 wins in Houston. He's chasing that goal. He loves Mr. Crane. This team is loaded. He's going to go out and win. He's got a bullpen that'll protect his wins, and he likes winning, and he's really good at it, and his wife supports it. So, and that's a good thing, having mama on your side wanting you to keep playing and do that. So this is different. He didn't opt out to leave. I think he opted out, and most of us think he opted out to see if he can get the more money here. Now, he may still leave, but he opted out because the team gave him the opportunity to opt out to come back and get more money if he's worthy of it. And he's worthy of around $40 million a year or more, JB, and he's going to get it.
Yeah, and when I hear this coaches leave all the time thing, I always, people ask me this on shows and different things, and when my answer is always something that alarms them, I say, let me tell you something. Has your kid at 17, when I recruit the house, and Sean, I never lost a kid saying this. I used to put the kid in my eye vision and the parent right behind them. And so they couldn't look at each other. I didn't want them to see each other.
Right.
And I go, whose decision is it? And the kid goes, mine. And I go, you're a fucking liar. And they go, what? I go, you're a liar. How old are you? You're 17 years old? How many light bills have you paid? None. How many car notes you paid? None. How many mortgages you paid? None. How many kids you sent to fucking college? None. Then you better lean on your parents for a goddamn educated guess and educated scenario on what's going to happen with your career, because this is a fucking major thing you're about to do. Pick a school and commit to it. We don't have commit no more, Sean. We have decommitment, which is not even a word. So that is what pisses me off now, because I get after it and I say, you haven't made a fucking a mortgage payment yet. You're not making the damn decision. You don't know better.
Right.
Your parents know better. At least they can help you, guide you on making this decision, which is going to be a critical one.
They've been your taxi cab service, driving you around to every sporting event every friggin' day after working all day long. Yeah. And along with the loyalty, I do have, and this is for another conversation, just a real quick about that, JB. I have a problem. I'm going to tell you what, if my kid was getting recruited, my kids are older now, but if they were getting recruited, or if I was getting recruited at this age and my old man was still alive as the number one recruit in the country, my dad would have never, he would have said, made for TV. No, like you to be on TV. This showing up with 5 hats while some kid's out there waiting for you to make a choice when his scholarship's hanging in the balance at the school if you don't go there. And you're toying around in 5 hats and the coaches, and then all of a sudden you put one on, take it off, and everybody's laughing at somebody's expense. I understand it's made for TV. I actually think it's a horse shit. Oh. And I'm just any quarterback I train, if they ask, I say, if you want to know, for me, I would suggest you don't do it. But I'm not you and I'm not your parents, because I know damn well my dad would have said, you're not going to disrespect. I don't care about TV. Pick the team, pull the hat from underneath. The surprise is okay. But the back and forth shell game, I actually think it's a Bush League move. I do. I hate it. I cannot stand it. But that's not on me to make that decision. But the respect factor of, listen, I'm going to
Sean,
Alabama.
You see this right here?
Yeah.
That's the hat they should pull out. Fucking bitch made cat. That's the hat that they should pull out when they fucking keep doing all this.
Yeah,
it should say bitch made on it.
It drives me. It chaps my ass. I don't like it, but I'm not judging them. They can do whatever they want. To me, it's like the kid, and I've told kids this. Do me a favor. You mentioned social media. You don't have to. I know they say thank you, blessed and grateful that I got another scholarship offer. That's fine. I get thanking the school with their uniform on Twitter. I get that. That's called respect. And grateful that you got an offer. But I also see kids say, I'm grateful for my 54th Division I offer. Like anybody gives a shit, you pompous prick. Okay? If you want to say I'm grateful, I was offered it in Wisconsin, that's awesome. You don't need to shove it in your right tackle's face who's busting his ass. Yeah. You're going to be lucky to play it at a Division II school, maybe. Right, and begging for it. And you're sitting here telling us, hey, the humble brag of, look at me. I got my 75th D1 offer. Great. Now go fuck yourself and take it off there. I don't mean it mean to you know my point, Jay. To me, there's a way to handle it. And I'm not telling them, listen, it's all involved. Hey, don't take it so serious. Okay, don't take it so. Just because you don't take it serious, I'm allowed to. We're allowed to disagree and not hate each other. If I'm a coach, matter of fact, if I'm a guy recruiting you, I would prefer that you approach it a little bit more humble pie and then celebrate when it's all done. But I just don't like keeping stuff hanging in the balance like that. I think that I've never liked it and I never will. It's not old head. If I was playing now, I still wouldn't do it. I just don't think it's funny, and that's okay. And if that means I'm Clint Eastwood sitting on my doggone porch drinking a Pabst Blue Ribbon, fuck it. I am. Okay, whatever.
I'm the same. I agree, man. I can't.
My old man would have stuck his steel-toe boot right up my ass. Hey, Dad, I'm going to take 8 hats out there, and I'm going to toy with them for 20 minutes and play the shell game while kids' heart rate's going up and down, just so I can say. And then I'm going to put on some social media. Thanks for my 75th Division I offer, while all you clowns that only get to play Division II, ha ha ha. I mean, who does that? Well, A lot of kids do. Doesn't make him a bad kid. I just think it's a bad look.
And by the way, Sean, we're playing this week for the fucking state title, and that right tackle is going to Cal Poly Pomona. He's got to still block for my fucking ass. And guess what? Hey, you know what, fucker? Yeah, I'm glad you got 75 offers, and I got fucking Redlands and fucking
Can you take me to a pizza after the game after you don't get sacked?
Yeah,
right.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It blows my mind. But Sean, it goes back to fucking. We could talk about this for fucking 7 hours. It goes back to the coach, the parent. We allow it. We don't coach it. We don't fucking tell them. We don't change it. We don't do nothing. And these kids have the keys to the cars. They are running the fucking show.
Once again, like you said, they're afraid to correct and to criticize in a respectful way because you're afraid. Well, what if he decommits? Okay. I know the program's always been bigger than the one player. Okay, I don't know. I approach it different.
I learned this the hard way because I used to try to save all of them, and I used to tell coaches once I learned you can't do it. You can't fucking save them all. Save one and be happy, and save one every year.
Yep, and then save the next one. If you're trying to save them all in bunches, matter of fact, what's going to happen? You're not going to save them, and you're not going to save your damn self either.
You're fucking going to be gone.
That's right.
And I see it all the time. It's like, dude, it blows my mind that these coaches and these parents are just allowing these cats to continue to do this shit, and you wonder why we're so fucked up. But it is what it is. Third and long, I want to bring this to you. I got to get to you. I got a deal. We got a penalty, and it's third down, and I got these new sound bites for this deal. So we're headed up to third and long. Oh, that's not it. Blew the whistle. We got a fucking flag. I gotta ask you, Sean. Athletes playing quarterback versus quarterbacks being athletic. Why is coaching? Why is this? Coaching it so different? Like, is it an ideology? Is it a philosophy? Is it actual teaching? Is it? I know, Sean, for this much. If you ever coach a left-handed QB, it's a fucking real deal. It is a difference than it is coaching a righty. So, coaching an athlete and trying to get them to become a quarterback is completely different than coaching a quarterback that is athletic. I don't believe a lot of people understand that. What's your take on athletes playing quarterback and quarterbacks being athletic?
I love the athlete being the quarterback in Pop Warner, where I say you're better than everybody else. We're going to snap you the ball, go make me 800 plays. And we all do that. Hey, you're the best player. Let's go give it to him.
Sean, I'm not to cut you off, but honestly, fuck Pop Warner. The guy that plays quarterback in Pop Warner is a fucking safety in high school.
That's exactly right. Or the best running back at his high school forever. Right. Yeah. Because he's the fastest and biggest guy, and he's better than everybody else. So you put the ball in his hand, and he's going to throw it 4 times a game until he gets to high school or junior high, whatever it is, right? And they're playing, and then they go through their 7-on-7. So, yeah, I'll take him then. I'll always take the quarterback who's athletic and can extend more than I will the athlete, because what happens is at some point in time when the athleticism goes away, what sustains you? You'll always be sustained by being a quarterback who can pass it with accuracy at some point in time. So how do you're going to expand your career far longer and be far better over the course of time, being a quarterback who's a tremendous, and if you're Josh Allen, or if you're a guy, Kyler Murray's athleticism, I'm not putting him in that cat because he's still got a lot to learn to be a passer. Warren Moon's a phenomenal. Wow. Warren Moon, he's as good a pure thrower as the league's ever had. I never saw him throw a friggin' wobbly ball in my life, but one time on the practice field, and we were warming up. He had this routine. He threw a ball to us while the receiver's catching. It wobbled one time. Warren said, "Sal, throw me that ball back." I throw it back to him. He spins it up in the air 3 times and says, "This ball's lopsided." And I'll be damned if he wasn't right. And I never saw him throw a non-spiral again in my friggin' life. He can still throw it better than about 80% of the guys in the league, and he's 60, okay? But he spins it. Now, he was rare. Warren could run, do it all, accurate, big, physical, smart. He did everything. That's, matter of fact, long before this, we're talking about this, Warren Moon was that guy.
Yes.
He could kill you with his feet. He was a phenomenally accurate passer. He could throw it a country mile. Big physical guy, studied his ass off, prepared every day, took it serious, knew when to laugh, wasn't a talker. Put it this way, if you want to go through the checklist He fits every and you know what? The only thing why he wasn't in the NFL 5 years sooner is because the NFL dogged it out and didn't. They were worried about drafting a black quarterback, and his ass should have been in the league 6 years before then. I'm dead serious. If Warren Moon came in now, he'd be 100,000 yards. He'd be where Brady is.
Yes.
If you look at his number, I mean, he would. So Warren won't.
That's rough. I don't think people realize he went to West LA fucking JUCO right here in California.
Yes, and was at Hamilton High School. I'm telling you, and he was a monster at Washington. He was at that time where, black quarterback, he's athletic. Is he a quarterback? Warren and he's one of my best friends. We've talked about it a million times. And Warren is such a great guy and he's never going to say, I could say it for him. We all know the elephant in the room, why Warren Moon wasn't right from the NFL, because he should have been starting in the NFL by the time he was like 19 or 20. Okay. Yeah. He was that good. But all these things we talk about now, Warren Moon was that guy. Yeah. And then some. He was brilliant at the line of scrimmage, brilliant in the film room, wasn't a self-promoter, threw the hell out of the ball, could rip it. I mean, the ball, everything you want a quarterback is him.
He's like living the fucker's fingers, right?
Yes. That dude right there, when you look up pure quarterback, everything you want, Warren Moon's picture's in there, long before any of these cats were ever in there. At least it should be. Well, let's press forward now. We get a lot of these guys, but for me, the quarterback who's athletic, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, these guys, they're different cats because they're blessed and unique. But, Sean, what do you want? You want the athlete who can – no. We win from the pocket, and then we expand. We don't expand, then win from the pocket. Give me the quarterback who's a passer and who's really athletic. And I will never coach being an athlete out of you. I would never do that. But I also try to coach being a passer into you and doing all the things. And then you just become about 8 to 10 plays a game. You just got to be a player. So I don't know if it's the fact that guys are afraid to change some things or to do it. I'm always, let me cater to your skill set, but while I'm catering to your skill set, let me try to improve what your weakness is. That's my philosophy. And if I got a Warren Moon that can do it all, shit, good luck trying to stop me. But I want the passer, I want the quarterback first that is an athlete or that is athletic, as opposed to a guy who's a track sprinter who happens, we gave him the ball because he's faster than everybody else, and we're going to teach him to play quarterback. That doesn't mean we don't teach him. I want a quarterback that's athletic first. That's me.
No doubt. Me too. I'm with you. The problem is the guys that are athletes playing quarterback, Sean, it's a segue to our second portion of this third and long segment. The athlete playing quarterback is usually the thrower, and the quarterback that is athletic is usually the passer. And there's a difference in thrower and passer. I wanted to explain that to the common folk out here that may want to know what the difference is. You know, Lamar Jackson, God bless his athleticism. He's a freak of nature, great human being, great character. He deserves the bag and the money.
Yes.
Is he worth it though, Sean? Is he worth it?
In this league, he is, JB. Why? Because that's what we want. We want the guy who kills you in many different ways. Yes. 25 years ago, he wouldn't have got the same look, unfortunately.
And he's deserving of it because you paid Deshaun Watson, because you paid Kyler Murray, and this guy's the only one with an MVP out of those guys last time I checked.
Yeah, and you pay Josh Allen. You pay those guys that can move and throw. But the truth is, he's still got, like I said before, JB, imagine what happens with Lamar Jackson if he ever elevates to the point. He can throw it. He's got a big arm and all that. But where it gets to the point where he's just that if you took his legs away completely, he's still going to kill you every week. He's just fortunate enough he's got a crutch to lean on because you can't tackle his ass. And he'll still throw for 4, and he's an MVP. So imagine if he gets better and more consistent accuracy throwing it. He'll say he's going to set the league on its ear. But he's still working to be a passer instead of a thrower that's athletic. But anytime you win an MVP, dude, I all tip my hat and do everything because the kid should get paid. Because in this league we're in now, we just want somebody to make plays regularly, and he does. Can you imagine what Baltimore's like without him, JB?
No,
I understand. I know what you're saying. The prototypical look that you want from the hula hoop in the pocket, but you and I damn well know he's going to get paid $200 million, and he's going to be worth it.
Baltimore's fucking horrible without him.
Yeah, no doubt. No
because
doubt.
they built this roster around him too, though.
Yep.
So, you know.
All right, who's the best passer you've ever seen? Passer. I didn't say quarterback. Passer.
Tony Banks.
Okay. Best passer. Jeff George. Jeff George, pretty good.
How interesting is that?
Yeah, I love Tony.
Dude,
I love Tony. TB, I love him. Love Tony Banks.
People don't realize though, Sean, how that dude could throw a fucking ball. So I got a shot in OTAs with the Ravens. The first year Hard Knocks ever existed. Randall Cunningham was an OG. He was on that roster. You had fucking Trent Dilfer. You had fucking Tony Banks was there. You had a kid that I grew up with from Arizona that got picked up. We got cut. And I was there 3 days, Sean. They did a drill. Bullshit you not. And a great mentor of mine was actually Ozzie Newsome's right-hand man on that staff named Art Perkins, who you probably know Art Perkins. Mm-hmm. So Art Perkins, a Compton College native, played for the Chargers and the Rams, and it was the first big-time, big physical fucking back who can run. Art Perkins played in the league. But anyway, they used to do a drill, Sean. They had the receiver and the DB right next to each other, and they were against the fence. And it was a 20-yard deal from 40 yards away. They can only run 20 yards this way, and Tony Banks was 40 yards away. And the DB and the wideout were like this. And the wideout goes full speed, 20 yards, and the DB's trailing him, and he has to get the ball in before the 20-yard mark, and Tony Banks never got the fucking ball batted by the DB. I mean, we're like this, Sean. We're running like this, and the DB knows there's no route here. We're just running along the fence. I never seen nothing like a guy. I mean, the guy could throw it. He's a San Diego Mesa JUCO guy.
Yeah, I love Tony. He's a good friend of mine, dude. And we've caught at camps together, many conversation. Dude, that fool can. I mean that affection. He could still rip it. This dude can still go out there at these clinics and throw it if you want him to.
Now, Sean, in a game right now, I would have to say Aaron Rodgers would probably be top 1 or 2 to my
Yep. Now Jeff George could rip it. Wade Wilson, God bless him, said, I asked him when he left Minnesota, he went to Oakland eventually, and I said, because Jeff was there, and I said, well, Wade, tell me. He goes, Sean, I love your arm. I said, well, tell me how Jeff can rip it, because he'd watch him in practice every day. He said, dude, you ain't ever seen a man get it from point A to point B faster. I saw Elway and Favre, and that was the era I'm playing in, and Jeff, and he said, that ball, he goes, it just sounds different, right? And then you get the passer. Drew Brees is a passer.
Yes.
Drew Brees was a passer.
Yes.
Warren Moon was a passer.
Yes.
The thrower,
Aikman could do both.
You're damn right. So, like I've always said, those guys who can throw it through a car wash without getting it wet are nice. I need the guy who can do that but can also hit the car wash. I'll always say that. So there you go.
No doubt. That's a great deal.
Tony Banks, my man, Tony Banks. I love it.
No doubt. Gotta love it. Let me ask you this. 2-minute drill. I want to get to it. I gotta bring this deal up. 2-minute drill. I wanted to get on the board real quick, Sean, and get your take on this for the novice coach out there the coach that wants to learn, okay? And we got a 2-minute drill ticker. We'll put it on, but we're going to take it off, so remove it because we're going to go on the board here. And I want to break down some tendencies, Sean, for the coaches out there that don't know how to start a scouting report, how to scout that week of their game and their opponent. And I wanted to break down some things real quick. I wanted to understand to the coach out there that when we're breaking down film, we get the film. We got 4-game films, for instance, and we got game 7 on this week. We're playing whoever. We got, we're playing fucking school A, and we got to break them down. So we want to get common opponent on what they run on defense and what offense they run that's similar to ours, all right? So we're breaking this teams down on defense, and we got to find opponents that run our similar personnel and offensive formations. So to get a real tendency on these things, which I have found to be true, I think you need to break down 1st and 10 times in the same formation. So you pull up all the 3x1s, all the 2x2s, all the 20 personnel pros, all the 11 personnel 2x2s, all the 11 personnel 3x1s, and you pull all these up on 1st and 10. And let's just say today we're going to start 2x2 on 1st and 10. I believe you have to get 10 plays broken down on 1st and 10 of 2x2 to get a tendency. And what usually happens is, Sean, We'll see 2x2 on 1st and 10, and we're going to get a 40. We're going to get a quarters look. And as you go on and we're on play 8, we still have yet to see any pressure on 1st down. We've yet to see any line games. We've yet to see anything. And after 10 plays, I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm pretty confident in 2x2 on 1st and 10. This team does this on 1st down.
Right.
So now I can go in and start developing what I'm going to put in that week on 1st down out of 2x2. And then we go on and go into 3x1. We do the same thing. So what I want to show you on the board here is real quick. I want to bring this up. Let me see if I can bring it up as bigger. Let's see. Nope. I'm fucking horrible at this, but I'm going to bring it up like this. So, Sean, I'm going to go on this board, and I'm going to turn this mic this way so you can hear me.
Okay.
I want to talk about 1st down, okay? We're going to do this 10 times, and we're going to draw lines. We're going to draw lines just like this, and we're not going to do all 10, but what I have up here, Sean, is 1st and 10, and then this is the formation, 2x2. This is all 1st and 10. The front, we're going to call it an even front. So we got an even front on 1st and 10, and we're going to go break this down. Now, Sean is the coach. He's breaking the film down. He's giving it to the coach on the board like I am. So he's telling me it's 2x2, and we've got all the 2x2 cut-ups on the film, and Coach Salisbury's pulling up all the 2x2s, and there's a coach on the board like myself, and we're cranking this out as a staff in the staff room. Now, what's the pressure, Sean? Okay, we got Sam C. So the Sam backer came out of C gap. That's how we're classifying it. So then we got coverage. We got cover 4. We're going to call it quarters. So this is play 1. What hash are we on, Sean? We're in the middle. We're in the middle of the field. Now, is it a field versus boundary pressure? Because we build up pressure and it's a Sam C. Where is the Sam coming from? All right, it's coming from the field. All right, so we have this. Now, is it a pass or a run? It is a pass. Okay, we're going to write a pass. And then what is the result? The result was an incomplete pass. All right, now, having said that, I want to come over here and tell you why those things are said like that. I want to show you why these are like that, okay? And I'm going to put myself on the show here. So the reason those are like that, why is it a result? Why does it matter? Why is it a pass or a run? So when we put in pass and run in there, what happens is when we put it into our system, Huddle, DVSport, whatever it is you use, now we can pull up all the passes on 1st down, and we can pull up all the incompletes since it was an incomplete pass. And now we have a tendency on what was successful or not against that particular defense. So against even front, Sam C, that means the Sam linebacker came off C gap in the middle field, middle of the hash, cover 4. And if we break this down 10 more times on 1st and 10 at a 2x2 formation, we're going to see a tendency. Okay, they're going to run even every single time. They're even front 10 out of 10 times, Sean.
And then you know how to attack an even front. It's called evidence.
It's called evidence, and now we're building a scouting report. And now we pull up 3x1 on 1st down. Now, this is the thing. This is a fucking 10-hour job now, so you guys know, coaches, because now you're getting into 3x1 next on 1st and 10.
And then
you're going to get 20 personnel, and then you're going to get 11, all the formations you run. And that is why, Sean, I'm a huge proponent on keeping it simple, stupid, especially you high school coaches out there, because just so you know, every tricky dick fucking pretty formation you see on Sundays that Andy Reid fucking puts in, guess what it does to your O-line? It changes the front. And your O-line is the one who struggles, because every time you change the formation, the fucking front changes too.
Yep.
So,
and they audible fronts as well. So now you got to get it on the fly, and those 5 cats up front, you know, there is something to be said even on defense if you flip it when they're breaking their tape down.
Yes.
The old Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom. We're going to play 4 coverages. Yes. We're not going to blitz you. We're going to let you and we're going to tackle. Yes. We're going to make sure that our players know who to get and how to get them. We're going to know where to line up, and this is how we're going to do it. And now you got to go make plays. But you are 100% correct. It's evidence. It's the analytics you see in baseball applied to football, and it is if you run a formation we got to find out what the tendency is at, because that 2 or 3 plays, even if it's not 10, you're going to have to find what if that's the difference in the game. You got to do it.
No doubt.
That is a great explanation on just a small portion of the grind it takes to cut up tape. So now the players can go watch it, and so they know what they're looking at.
Yes, and me and you can watch it, and as a staff now, right, every day. Now you got your first and 10s in the cut up. We just pull up all first and 10s out of 2x2, all first and 10s out of 3x1, all first and 10s out of 11 2x2, and now we're seeing a tendency, and now now we got analytics for real. Now we're printing off these pressures. Okay, on first and 10, we're getting a lot. We're getting 75% on first down. Sam, come see gap.
Right.
So now we got a tendency.
If you're a coach, a coordinator, folks, you sit at home, and all week long the tendencies and all this tape study says, in this formation, this down and distance, they play zero coverage inside the red zone. And you're not calling zero coverage beaters, you're a dumbass, okay? Okay? If you're calling cover 2 beaters and they play 87% of the time inside the 20-yard line, they play cover 4 or quarter halves, cover 6, whatever, and you're calling 2 beaters, then you need to get in the film room and study a little bit more and understand the tendencies. And there are some, and you know this, who don't get it. They fly by the seat of their pants instead of – I don't think you got to go all analytics all the time. If you're doing something good, hell, we're going to do it. We do better than you. But you got to have a little bit of a clue so you give your team – a coach's number one job is to put his players in the best position to succeed.
No doubt. We're headed to the post-snap read portion of this show. Post-snap usually means
Touchdown!
Touchdown. I'm getting pretty with this fucking sound bites over here, Sean.
You're ubiquitous. You're everywhere. I like it.
Hey, so I'm a fucking one-man band over here, man. I got all this shit.
You know who you are? You're Adam Levine. You play like 8 instruments. You sing. You get the drums, pop on the keyboards. You're going to go play the lead guitar.
I might be on fucking TMZ later for having a fucking coronary stroke. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's get it in.
At least you're going to go down doing what you love to do, brother.
Hey,
there you go.
Right. I'm going to go out swinging, brother.
Right.
I'm going to go down. I'm going to be like, God damn, Sean fucked me. God damn it.
My bad. You said you loved it.
Hey, no shit. Hey, don't try over spilled milk.
That's right.
Here we go. Post that read. Where do they rank? We always want to say, where do they rank? All these different things. I got to ask you, where does Kyler rank now versus last year? Because I think he's regressed, however you want to say it. In the football world, sometimes we use digress, sometimes we use regress. I think he is. He's regressed. Why has he regressed? I kind of want to talk to you about it and show a little film for a few minutes here while we have it.
Can I keep it simple for you?
Hell yeah.
I think he knows how to get them. I don't think he knows who to get. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I think that Kyler Murray's biggest crutch is he's always been better than everybody. He is a phenomenal athlete who's got a powerful arm, who can beat you with his legs. There ain't no doubt that the guy's a freak. He's an alien talent. I use that term. He is, but alien talent who I only get to see about 60% of it. I don't, and this has nothing to do with the stuff you heard about him in preparation in the contract. To me, Kyler Murray is if the first guy's not open, I'll go make a play guy, and eventually they get you. They're good enough to defend it. People are. And he's the type of guy who's going to go out and throw for 400 and rush for 80 one day and then disappear for 3 games. These coordinators are too smart. I think Kyler Murray's biggest strength is his biggest weakness. His biggest strength, he's a friggin' playmaker. His biggest weakness is I think he's trying to hit a grand slam every time he plays, and I'm not sure it has nothing to do with whether he's smart or not. He's seen enough football. Is that everything to do with, is he committed to using his eyes and doing it the way it needs to be done? I think Kyler Murray's crutch is his biggest strength. And I think Kyler Murray's crutch has become his biggest weakness, JB.
I agree. Let's break this down in tandem here. This is interesting because they're on Hard Knocks right now. And I think he's fucking viral on Twitter.
JB, can we stop down?
Yeah.
I'm flickering in and out.
The film. Let's show the film on this deal. and get after it, because I do agree that he has digressed, but why not show it? Because we got the eye in the sky, right?
Yep. Yeah,
So
the regression, like I said, reading and processing that information, right? Take it over, JB, because I know that has he hit his ceiling, or is he not there yet?
I don't think he's there, but let me ask you this, Sean. We're breaking this down here. We got a little 3x1 tight end 11 personnel set here. We've already talked about, we've talked about heaven and hell, Cliff Kingsbury, and this kid here.
Kyler Murray.
I want to show something here, because I have a video that I want to show that there's a thing out there right now. This kid's going viral, and
oh yeah, with Hopkins on the sidelines, right?
Take a listen to this before we do this.
Hey, offense, let's go. Let's go. Offense, let's go. Offense, let's go. I'm trying to win. We're good. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. Listen, same deal. Nothing they're doing, right? It's us. Nothing they're doing. It's us. Routine play.
So right here, Sean, as you know, as I know, when you're a head coach and you're the play caller and you bring your guys over who are beefing, they're not listening to you at all. They don't hear anything you say because they are already riled up into their feelings, fighting each other. They're not listening to you. And he is lost.
Y'all good? Just set them plug down. They cannot stop us. But we got to fucking set around Georgia. All right? We got it.
That's it. He didn't address.
Are y'all good? No, we're not all good. Right.
Right. He didn't address the problem. You guys are fucking bickering right now.
Right. Do me a favor. Let's bicker in the locker room afterwards. We got a ball game to win. Right. To me, it's, and listen, when you hear what Hopkins said, like, bro, what are you looking at? It's wide open. I'm paraphrasing, right? But basically, that's what he said. And Kyler's getting defensive. Listen, man, I said this, and JB, you tell me if you agree. When all the contract stuff was going down and the team put it in the contract, the agent was mad that they did, and they pulled it back out, all that clusterfuck, right? I said, now no matter what happens, the first time he makes a bad throw, they've opened up a can of worms that everybody on the planet, including his own teammates, are going to say, are you studying? Even if he did, that's where they're going. Am I correct or incorrect? That's exactly where they're. What did Hopkins just say? I don't want to put words in his mouth, and I'm not, because he said it. What are you looking at? It's wide open. And then he's defensive.
If you can't go on this one, it's clear on the phone, but he's saying the 50's wide open down the pipe. So I don't know whatever they call the 5-0.
Was it a bender or a seam? Was that what he was trying to? Whatever it was, he wants to know what he's looking at. So even if it wasn't the reason, all the stuff you saw pre-regular season and any offseason or heard is going to it's all, that's the trigger point. And then you saw his reaction. He's pissed, and they're fighting it out, and they got nothing solved on the sideline other than a coach saying, we good? No, we're not good. Shit, let's call some plays and get rolling. This is a team in disarray, and you mentioned the marriage or the divorce. They're going to have to do some and I'm not even talking about those arguments on the sideline happen all the time.
Yeah.
I don't care about the optics of that. I care about how you're going to fix it.
But we know. You start stacking shit up, Sean. Start stacking up here against it now. And see, I look at this little play. A lot of people don't want to break this down. I look at this little play as a handoff, and the disinterested body language from him tells me, because Sean, I'm going to be honest here. I want you fucking full speed, and I want to look like a football player on the back end to hold this fucking guy here and pull this guy with me. Look at this. Watch.
Look
shit.
All JB, look at here. Look at what happens. We want it to all look the same, right? I want that guy who's engaged on the end to think that he's trying to get to the edge. Watch him, even though he's engaged. Watch the guy here to our right. He's not, you know how you'll play passive aggressive? He ain't playing passive. He's getting blocked.
Yeah.
But he's taking care of his business. Kyler he takes one step and stops. I need you to carry that out. All this, and people say, what's the big deal? All this is leading to something. We're not just doing it for the hell of it, or we wouldn't do it.
And
you're making it tougher on the back.
Kingsbury here.
Yeah, you better get on his ass for this. Are we okay here? Right. Coach him up.
I got to question Kingsbury too, Sean, because we're running a play where we're window dressing some run option stuff, some double option or triple option in this case. And if we're going to fake this and hand the ball, let's at least go get a guy blocked with the tight end and make it look like we're reading somebody. Because right now, we're not RPO in this backer on the second level. We're not blocking him either. That's a bad fucking design football. Now, let's send the tight end in here and go get this guy.
Yeah, dig him out.
Because if not, what are we doing here? We're blocking a guy we can't block. The scheme doesn't fit what the fuck they're looking like they're trying to get done.
And look at the guy in the middle there. You're going to leave one of your better tacklers unblocked on an inside zone handoff? You feel me? Well, I mean,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You're right. We're not doing anything to hold him at all. At all.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And we know he's half-assed. Look at his effort here. He ain't carrying this out fucking full go hash number silent. He's watching the play.
Because the next time what I'm trying to do as a play caller, set that up so the next time I can pull it and get on the edge and get me a crosser and an over route, work the sideline, give me I don't know, man. I'm just a big guy. I take nothing for granted.
And so we don't beat a dead horse here. Let's be honest. It's not on Murray here. It's also on.
Oh, agreed.
It's also on. It's a bad situation, Sean, and we've all been there. We've all been in these bad situations. Sometimes you just got to cut the head of the horse off, and we got to start over.
I feel like these two are working down opposite ends of the street right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Heading towards each other as opposed to walking side by side, meaning the head coach and the quarterback. And you know this, once it starts to fester and we start giving it's I confess, it's this guy's fault, I confess he did it, then it becomes that back to your beginning of this show. The sensitive can't take constructive criticism. Everything becomes more sensitive and hypersensitive. And now everybody, then you're, as a quarterback, you're thinking about all the other shit instead of the damn job you got to do, which is tough enough for all of us to do. He's just a freaky talent so he can make plays, but it's the inconsistency of plays that goes not just with him because he's a hell of a talent, but he and Cliff don't seem to think, they don't seem to me to be in rhythm at all this year.
Sean, I'm going to be honest with you here.
Come on, man. Look at the front, my man. Please. Wait till you see the end zone view of this one, too.
Coach, that's 9 guys. There's 10. There's 11. We have 9 guys at the line of scrimmage in the NFL, Sean. Did you think Troy Aikman got a 9-man box before?
No, and if he did, guess what he was going to do? Make you pay with a quick, you get it out of the hand right now, and we're going to attack it, and you're never going to, hold that, say you're never going to see it again because I'm going to destroy you because of this.
And Michael Irvin just beat your corner, and it's a 90-yard touchdown.
That's exactly right.
This is my problem, Sean. We got a 9-man box here. Cliff Kingsbury loves to be an empty on 3rd and long. If I was scouting Cliff Kingsbury, which I've watched quite a bit of lately, he loves 3rd down to be his empty package. And I don't know how you can be an empty with a quarterback who some call a mental midget. We don't know. We don't know what's going on with him. Does he know this shit or not? We can argue that, but the fact of the matter is you're an empty personnel on 3rd and long with a guy that don't seem to be understanding how to pick up who's hot, who's not, side adjust, and make a throw with a fucking solid foundation in the platform.
I can tell you, we'll get to that end zone look real quick so we can get an idea what he's looking at. All right, now, so depending on which way he directs or they direct Mike, there's somebody's coming free. And empty, okay? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to block them unless you're bringing that tight end down to block, and it doesn't look like to me like he's in his track stance, right? The guy on the left. So somebody, wherever you direct it, you got to be without a back in the backfield. You got to be alert of where it is. Now, look what happens. You're going to miss something, and you don't put your foot in the ground, and there's no adjustment. Freeze. Now watch him bail. In this situation, they don't blitz them all, but they run games. You can't do anything with it.
Be shitting me, Sean. That's an NFL play. That's an NFL play here. Like he's just throwing shit up.
And look at the confusion. Look at this now. Yeah, no, there's no question. Well, this
look
was
at Sean. It's a
four-man rush. And you know what? It's a hero play.
Nobody.
Did that guy catch it? Did he hold on to the ball?
No.
Does he hold on? Now,
no.
Okay, there you go. The ball. There you go. Taking a shot. But you know what? It would have been a lot easier if you knew who to get and how to get him, and you knew how to deal. Are they spending enough time knowing how to direct traffic up front so they know who to block? It's also they're also in it.
I don't think
they also Phil. I don't know because I'm not in the film room. Maybe they are, but you're begging me to give you a look that you can't block in empty backfield on third down, like you say, when they're Tennessee. And if these teams do believe that he doesn't understand because of study, not because he's not smart, because of study, where he's going. You know what I think? That goes back to what you asked me. That I believe his crutch is his biggest weakness, that his biggest weakness is his biggest strength. He can run around and make plays, and he almost did with the throw. But it's the solid foundation of, okay, I got this. Look, no problem, fellas. We got this. We'll check to this. I'll get out of this. It's the quick game, a hesitation slant to my X or a quick fade, get it up. So you're not taking the hit, so you understand what you're doing instead of try to make the hero play, when in truth, when all is said and done, they rushed, I think, 4. I think they rushed 4.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they rushed 4. May have been 5, but you got enough to block them then. So understanding protections goes back to, if you don't understand those, I don't know how you sustain greatness in this league.
Sean, we're moving to what do we know? Because apparently we don't know shit. And I want to bring this up.
Can I ask you one question before you do this?
Yep.
I want your expertise. What would you do with Kyler Murray, and how would you start the game plan with him if you're the offensive coordinator? What do you do?
Man, to be honest with you, I'd get in 20 personnel. I'd manipulate you with personnel groupings. So one of my backs in 20, maybe a tight end, he may be a receiver. And I'm gonna run a lot of sprint out, curl flat, corner smash, hitch corner, corner curl, crossing routes out of 20. I'm going to keep them protected with 2 backs, or at least a facade of it. And you don't know if I can sprint out. I can run sprint draw. I can run some QB run game out of it. And I can give me 2-man routes. We can find a goddamn alley backer to pick on, a flat defender who we know, okay, every single time you know what your coverage is going to be. This is who
your head goes right there. Yeah, you're going right to that guy.
And let's be simple. And if we have to, we can get into a little bit of 11 and some things. But get out of fucking empty. Get out of all this exotic shit. And let's go into getting some things that we can do. And let's get him on the edge. Let's turn back the protection so he don't got to worry about fucking games and all these different things that he obviously don't know. And let's get him on the run. Flat curl. Smash corner. You read the corner on this, Kyler. If you can't read the corner and you're making $200 million, then you need to be fucking castrated, motherfucker.
And that becomes – and what becomes, Coach, is what happens is when you've had so much success just being a playmaker, that when they take that away, then what happens is the panic and the playing hurried instead of playing fast becomes a problem. Yeah. We know he can make plays.
Yeah.
Sustaining those plays is a bit of a problem, and he'll have spectacular games, but you're right. Now you're going to take dude, listen, we're going to sew this up for you. Now go do what you do, because you're a hell of a player. And like I said, but they're putting him in positions. You put a 15-year veteran that knows that, and when you go empty, there's a lot of different ways to direct it, and you're really not playing to his strengths by doing that.
No, and I don't understand why an NFL head coach doesn't realize, let's get this guy some protected. I'd be honest with you. I'd shit the bed. I'd be shitting my pants if I was a DC coming out to see Kyler Murray and 20 personnel where I can run some zone read option. I can run some I can run some different things, and I can protect this guy with 2-man routes. And now you got to play defense. You got to stay 2 high or 1 high, or if you want to bring somebody, I know where it's coming from. But in fucking empty personnel and 0 and 10, and we don't know. You can 1+ me. This guy obviously don't know what he's doing.
And maybe he'll feel more comfortable getting, where he just gets to be a playmaker.
Yeah.
Listen, nobody's saying that he doesn't. Like I said, I don't know what he's like when he's at home studying, or if he is. I don't know what he's like in the meeting room. Like you said at the beginning, and I validated the guy. Football, he's not. The guy's got a high football IQ. The question is, the IQ's also got to expand. If I put the game in your hands, can you direct everything? And do you understand everything we're doing? I think part of the fact that if you're not coaching him up to do it, you're actually enhancing the weakness because you're putting him in bad situations that he doesn't get to react and be a football player. Make sense? No. And there's a lot of guys like that. Hell, I don't want to put a quarterback who's struggling through it right now in an empty backfield where his head's on a swivel and he doesn't really know right now what he's trying to get accomplished, and then his great athleticism, and you're not getting a chance to think your way through a play because, well, protection breaks down. You're trying to make a home run play every time. Got to hit me singles. Put him in position to do that.
No doubt about it. There's no question. I don't know. It's dumb. It blows me away that an see, that's the problem, though. We give these guys jobs that we can go in. We can have a whole fucking show about this next week, maybe. But Cliff Kingsbury wasn't even a very good college guy, to be honest with you, and he got the job some way. He was at SC, your alma mater, about to be the OC in the spring, and fucking next thing you know, he's gone, and he's fucking head coach of an NFL franchise after going 3-7 at Texas Tech. Right. So it blows my mind. But we can always point out the obvious when we're not in the room, right? So we're not going to put our foot in our mouth. We don't know what's going on. Maybe it is that shit, and Kyler Murray's saying, "You pay me $200 million, I want to be an empty." I don't know. We don't know what the fuck's going on. So
right, absolutely. Well, that's why we're not in a meeting room. But I'd sure like to be in there, wouldn't you?
Oh fuck, I'd be a fly on the wall in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Up next, we got. But what do we know? Me and Sean always talk about it. I love this picture right here, Sean. You got the scar. I got to get the scars. I got to ask you, Sean, there's 4 leagues going on right now. We got the XFL and the USFL. The Rock came out with a team, and the XFL with a league. USFL had a pretty decent success story last year in year 1. Our good friend Noel Mazzoni was the OC for the New Orleans Breakers, led by Larry Fedora, former head coach of North Carolina. And then we have the obvious. We have the CFL, which has been around forever. And now, and obviously, we got the big dog in the conglomerate NFL. The NFL is the daddy of all of them, and we know that. And these startup leagues don't last long, Sean, whatsoever. Me and you are on this show quite a bit, always talking about something about whether this kid did this. He couldn't be yelled at. He's soft. He's lazy. We're injured. We have 700 injuries in the NFL right now, all-time high. We had 65 injuries last year. We don't think the investment's very high. We think we're getting paid. We think they're getting paid too fast, too quickly, and without proving anything. So with all that being said, Sean, we know this is the most watered-down era of football that we've seen in quite some time, college and pro, high school included, youth included, shit. Is there enough fucking talent to have 4 leagues and have an actual decent body on the field that looks good, a product?
Here's how I feel. I couldn't root harder because we got a lot of buddies that are either coaching in it, one of those leagues, being a front office guy, guys we may have coached along the way, players that are now want to break into coaching. I can go. Every team's got somebody that I've either been buddies with or played with or root for because I played against them. You and I both know that, right? Or coached against them. They coached against a team I played for. So root for them. I couldn't root harder for the league to be successful, whether it's the XFL, USFL, spring football, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, I do. Number one is no, there's not enough talent around. And when I say that, there's a lot of good players. But for one of those leagues to succeed that's not a minor league feeder system to the NFL, because it'll never work in the fall. It's got to be in the spring leading into the summer. The reason why that we want stars, my man. Now, if you got a guy, I know this about billionaires. They don't like to lose money. So it'll last for a second. It's all fine and dandy, but can you sustain 8, 10, 15 years of it? My answer to you is no, unless the NFL's got the shield on it and they're feeding them money. And you're feeding them to the league. So the same system. So if a guy gets hurt, he ran that system in the USFL, he'd come play wide receiver in a week. But the spring football, I don't think it's ever going to work without it being a minor league. And here's why. Listen, Rock popular, Rock's not playing. Stars drive leagues, and with baseball and football, listen, man, for a couple weeks it's good. It's a great like minor league baseball. It's a cheaper ticket. You get to go watch some fun football. It's awesome for the family. But for me, I don't watch it. Now, if I was coaching it, I would. Now, I'll watch a few players and coaches that I want to win. But the fans and the TV and the rest of it, we don't have a league filled with stars. You're going to get a couple of them that are going to go on and make an NFL roster. But we don't. Our stars aren't playing. And so, no, while I want it to succeed beyond belief, billionaires and millionaires don't like to lose money. And people don't watch leagues over a course of time unless there's stars in them. And that combined tells me you're going to have a hell of a time sustaining success in a spring league with baseball and all the other stuff that goes on without stars in it. So the answer to your question is no. I wish I wanted to succeed. 5 years from now, if you're asking me if it stays like this, do I think the XFL or the USFL are going to be going full flow? My answer would be no. Maybe another league or they changed it. But I don't think 10 years from now we're going to be talking about how, yep, it's sustained because we got enough great players. I disagree. We're having enough trouble putting enough good players on the field on Sundays now.
That's my point. Let me ask you this. Who the fuck wants to see the 7th and 8th string guy who got cut by the Chiefs playing in a league?
His family and a few of his buddies. Right. Are you paying for the money for the ticket for a family of 6?
That's
it.
You
got to ask yourself. So I root for it. I want their success big time. Buddies of mine that were in the organization now, GM in this league, and the rest, I couldn't root harder. I'm a realist, man. There's nothing thrilling about it week 6 into it. Unless you're coaching it, you love it and playing it. As a fan, I can be honest with you, JB, and I hate to say it, I cannot remember the last time I watched a quarter of spring football in my life. And the honest to God truth. And I hate to say it, but I haven't.
I'm the same way. And I got 20 kids playing in it.
Yep.
It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch because you know what the truth of the matter is, Sean, in this deal, you know, for a long time, the CFL at least had some pretty decent quarterback play. You would get at least a serviceable product that me and you may turn on and say, okay, we know this kid because he played at fucking BYU or
Warren Moon winning 5 or 6 Grey Cups. Yeah.
So
right.
we know some guys,
right?
But now the quarterback play has become so bad. We're sitting here critiquing fucking guy that's making $200 million in the NFL, and we're saying he's shitty. How the hell are we going to watch a guy in the fucking USFL who we don't even know and expect to watch that product?
And our life's been football. Now take it for the person who's the casual fan.
Yeah.
I hope it works. Listen, I always like to see a guy like Kurt Warner in the indoor arena leagues get discovered. Well, I love those stories, but those are few and far between because I want guys play as long as you can, be employed, get paid. I'm all for it. I just don't know how it sustains success and I don't like gimmicks. You're going to have some gimmicks to change it, but football's still got to be football. I don't like all the run out and beat the shit out of a guy to grab the tee. That to me, that lasts the very first game, and then the rest of it's like, okay, a guy blew out his knee running out to get the tee. Okay. Now he can't play anymore. So come on, man. I like football. At that point in time, I'm thinking about how am I getting to Fenway to watch the Red Sox play the Yankees in a 4-game series, dude. I am sorry. Unless I'm coaching it, I ain't watching it. Sorry.
You got a fucking camera right over the fucking corner. We got a fucking rope. We got a fucking rope about to hit the goddamn punter. He's going to kick a ball. The ball hits the fucking rope with the camera on it. I get it, Sean. We want to be fun and have a fucking fun league and shit. We got guys sprinting, coin flip and shit.
And all of a sudden, we got a dude wearing a RoboCop outfit, sprinting off the sidelines, hitting the quarterback in the back. Yet we want to protect the quarterback. That's like the 13th man coming off, and you got nobody to block him. Talk about not understanding protection and who your hot read is. One guy hits you in the back, puts your spine through your belly, and we wonder, wow, that looked great. I could WWE on if I want to see that. Stop it. Just friggin' stop it.
And people could argue, Sean, on a serious note, the kid P.J. Walker, he's starting for the Carolina Panthers.
Hell of a there's the one.
Yeah,
Good player.
one,
He was
right?
the MVP of the yeah.
That's
but
it.
now for every P.J.
We haven't
Walker,
seen another one.
and I hope P.J. Walker kills it. I hope he stays in the league and kills it because gives other guys hope. Do you get those guys? I got news for you. Name me 3 more. There you go. Okay.
Problem. Yes. Eye in the Sky Don't Lie. One of me and Sean's favorite segments here. We got, we're going to put the ticker down here. Eye in the Sky, we evaluate some film on aspiring players. We posted this on Tuesday, 2 days ago, and we've got a shitload of film, and we want to break down a few things. If we like the film, we're going to continue to critique the film. If we don't really like the film, or we would not recruit you and we grade you out and move on to the next film, just understand that's why we moved on. If we like you, we may keep your film up the whole segment.
If we don't, then JB's going to be a sniper. Okay.
If we don't like you, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, sensitive not allowed when we're breaking down tape.
No doubt.
It's not to hurt anybody's feelings, or we're not putting a guy in the Hall of Fame after watching a few throws either.
No shit. I got this film. Let's bring this kid up. Here we go. Class of 23, quarterback Quincy Rowe, 6'3", 235. We like the measurables already, so we're going to, before
big boy.
The film,
I like a big fella.
We like it. We like it. Now, Sean, I want to see is he a 6'3" fucking guy that we look like a quarterback and he's got a Tom Brady frame, or is he 6'3" and he looks like a fucking, nose guard? You know what I mean?
Right. Or he should be playing outside linebacker. I got you. All right.
Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry. I played the wrong deal. All right, here we go. Let's bring this guy up here. Let's watch Quincy Rowe here. Wait for it. Holy shit, he's a thick kid.
6'3", looks like it looks like he's about 6'5", 260 back there. But a nice
he
throw.
looks 5'8", only
big
5'9".
boy.
Yeah, he's a big kid. Big, thick legs.
Yeah, big. He's got a little short base though, doesn't he? But that's why you're talking about. Makes him look smaller with the upper torso and the short legs. But he's a big boy. Does he play both ways?
Yeah, he looks small, huh?
Does he play both ways? Look like he could knock a guy out down there in the 3 technique.
He's a big old, Sean, when we're evaluating film, we like to look at your ass. And I no pun intended here. People don't realize that when you're recruiting and you're looking at kids, we like to look at your thighs, your hips, and your ass. And when you're recruiting D linemen, we want to see their ass. When I'm on a D lineman coach, Sean, I'm looking at their ass and thighs. I'm like, okay, this guy's got a heavy loaded ass because we want to make sure he can't get double teamed, for instance, when we're looking at 3 techniques and shit. Yeah. This quarterback, though, he's got a big old ass on him, coach. I don't know if I would recruit a quarterback that's this thick.
I tell you, going back when he made the fade throw, what the ball did, it came out, got up quick. Yeah. Ball gets out, nice throw. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Big boy, but he listen, we don't want to. I'm trying to think who he reminds me of. What's the kid's what's the kid that was at Michigan, transferred to now he's not, he doesn't have the same hose. He was a big 4-5. Eric Milton, is that the kid who was at Michigan, transferred to Tennessee, like a 4 or 5-star recruit? And I'm talking about 255, big, Eric thick Milton, legs.
Yeah, I know you're
Milton,
talking
is that who it was?
Yeah,
I'm not comparing the arm or anything, but the body type looks the same with the lower, big old thick ass and fat with a pH. You know what I'm saying, JB?
He kind of is built like fucking females. I like, Sean, to be honest. I don't know if I'd recruit the motherfucker.
So you're telling me he's got one of those, you give it a little tap one time and come back and hit you 4 times right back at you? Come on.
I'll
tell you what, though, he's accurate pushing the ball down the field. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he's playing on my Power 5 D1 recruit thing. What grade? He's a 2023 kid?
Yeah.
But he can, the ball.
He's got a little git.
Yes, he does. There's a little, what's the word I'm looking for? A little late hop on the football, I guess. When it's in the air.
Right. on his delivery. He gets it cocked here. And you see that little cock.
Yeah, it's like a chicken wing throw, right? Is that what you're talking about on the release?
And you don't want to negate a big guy's, see that right there? you don't want to negate a tall man's throwing motion because it only gets taller as the competition rises in the next level. Your D linemen are going to be 6'7", O linemen are going to be 6'8". So why are we negating
right.
6'3"? We don't want to be smaller than 6'3". We want to be taller than 6'3". So he loses me on a couple of things.
A little wide on the good throw, fade him away. The results look nice, but it's that, are you recruiting those things that do they translate to, big time college football on a Saturday?
Yeah, he's a little stiff for me, Sean. I'd have to put him at C-.
I was going to say he's in the C. Probably keep on working. There may be a place for him to play somewhere on a Saturday, maybe, but not at our program right now. Does that make sense? Yeah,
there's somewhere for him, definitely. Not here right now, but we'll see. I mean, he's got some good measurables. Here's a kid I got sent from a few people. I guess he's got a few offers.
Did that kid before have offers as well?
Not that I know of.
Okay. He looks like put it this way. He's probably going to be told to trim down a little bit, right? And there may be a place for him.
Yep.
A project. Does that make sense? That's why you're giving him the C-. A project at maybe a smaller program.
Yeah, fair? I mean, I don't mind him. I think he could play somewhere. I mean, I just don't know. Yep. I don't know where. He's not going to go to Michigan or Alabama.
Right, absolutely not.
There's other places for them. That's what people don't understand. There's places to go get film.
Yeah, and it's not football's not just D1 football. There's a lot of good football out there. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, who's this kid? Return guy?
I guess he's a DB skill guy. I don't know how big he is. I'm going to see. He's got a couple offers, I guess. So right here, Sean, this is a good example. Let's go back here. I want to break this down as where we're recruiting him. So when we get a field that's open right here, when we break loose here right now,
can he run away?
We want to, so people don't realize how we evaluate. So either we have a clicker with us and we got a stopwatch in hand and we're sitting here, we're holding things down as far as kicking and punting and snapping with long snappers. We're actually stopwatching that damn thing in a recruiting meeting. Well, I want to break down how we evaluate a guy and tells us how fast he is. Well, we have a rule we call a two-stepper. We want this guy to get 5 yards with 2 steps. And we know you're moving and you're 4.5 or below if we're getting 5 yards every 2 steps. And that's how we're going to evaluate this kid right now. And this is how you see the big boys do it. So here we go. He's almost a two-stepper. He's
close. About 4.5, right?
Yeah, he's a two-stepper. He's a short strider, so it's a little difficult. You got to grade those a little bit. Here we go. Let's see. He could be a two-stepper. He could be a three-stepper. I think he's more of a three-stepper. That's just me personally. I don't know how blazing he is, but I think he's closer to a three-stepper for me. And as a corner with his size, I don't know how tall he is. I got
to see how he gets out of a back pedal too.
See right there. That's a bad look. Zone defense. He covered it up on a bad throw.
Yeah, an underthrow. It feels to me like he's got good straight line speed, and he's a miss me. I need to know also, is this competition a bad tackling team? But he puts his foot in the ground and gets going. It looks like while he's, like you said, a three-stepper to get 5 yards, he seems to have some breakaway speed and running away from angles. I just don't know how fast the guys are that are chasing him, and we don't have a stopwatch on him right this second.
Yeah, and
he's a corner. Yeah, the corner at the top. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's physical.
Going against a bigger kid. Not bad.
Battled physical, right? Had a chance.
To be honest, Sean, I don't know if I'd recruit him because of the simple fact that for his size, he is not elite enough for me.
Okay. Elite, I mean, yeah, right. You talking about that size, you need a little bit more twitch. More twitch.
Hip. He's very hip stiff. He can run a little bit, but he's hip stiff. And I don't really know. Like, he doesn't have a lot of flexibility in his hips and knees. I don't see a lot of flat out just shaking you. I think he's a straight line guy.
You know what he is to me? He's I don't think he's definitely not a shutdown corner. I don't think corner's his biggest strength. He's a guy at maybe a smaller program, at a smaller program that can be your special teams punt return guy and kick return guy, and like your sixth DB. Does that make sense? That if he's playing offense, you can get him. He's your straight line speed, take the top off the coverage. Even though he's stiff, he's still got a little runaway, right? I mean, look at this. Got three guys with the angle, and he's going to run. He's going to score here, but it's not. He's not. You're saying he's not a fluid runner with the lower half, correct? You there, big fella? Or did we freeze it up? Is he so fast that we froze this tape? There you go. Because there you go. Yeah, I got you now. You disappeared, but that's okay. We got it going on. No problem. Hey, on a live show, glitches happen.
Yeah, we all disappeared. I don't know what happened. Pat McAfee show goes out once a day on it, and he's
So overall evaluation? He can't, not a D1 guy, or small D1, or is he an FCS return guy? Is he a Division II guy? You don't think he's a corner, correct?
No.
Is he a slot receiver?
No.
Is he a return guy at a smaller school?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think I don't know how tall he is, Sean. The thing I see him as, depending on his height and weight, would be some type of nickel safety, because he doesn't have.
I swear to you, like, come down and play in the box where he does. Even though he can run straight line, a little stiff to cover somebody who's got some who's sudden, right? Not as sudden as you want him to. Once he legs it out, he can run. But I swear I was thinking the same thing. I got to bring in an extra safety that can get a little physical, but I'm not going to. He's not covering my best receiver in space, correct?
Right.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, I got a JUCO kid who sent me a film. Big kid, I guess. He sent me a film. I actually know he was out here. I think he was in California, and then he played at NEO in Northeast Oklahoma, the team we beat in our bowl game on Netflix. So, pretty good program. Don't know his name here, but okay.
6'6", 235. Is that what I said? 230.
Yeah, he look. Now, see, this is that guy that looks the part. He's long. He's okay. So
now, see the ball. Go back to that. Can you rewind that for me?
Yeah. So now you know he's a kid. He's at a national JUCO, so obviously he's got talent. We already know that. He's at a national JUCO. The ball came out here. He got a whip on him already. So
look at the late life on the throw, and go back right. Freeze it right there. Look at when the ball's out. Right. Freeze. Yep. Ball's out. Right.
Yep.
Now ball's out. Now I don't like that that it feels like that front leg is on his heel, because where he's not over, his shoulders aren't over that knee coming downhill. But watch the whip on this. The ball is out. He's throwing to grass. You and I love it. And that ball, there's some late life on that football. Agreed?
Yeah, and I'm watching him now, because now he's making throws that I'm very intrigued already after first throw, right?
Yeah, and that comeback going to his left without setting his feet.
Yeah.
20-yarder back down.
A little late, but throws it, getting hit twice on deep out routes across the formation from the opposite hash.
And for a guy who's big, he doesn't have a big old windup at the top of his throw. It's quick. Yeah, he's very compressed and compact.
Yeah, and he's got a little quick to him as far as getting it out and knowing where he's going with it.
Yep. I always expect a guy this big to be an overstrider, don't you? Like, where they overstride.
Got good feet underneath his shoulders.
Yep, he sure does. He's got his feet. There's a solid sound base where he's not playing outside of his this power base. And I love the whip action for a guy. It's not a big old Ferris wheel release. Pretty accurate throws, and he's really good throwing to his left, which is the hard way. Go back. Can I see that one more time?
Yeah,
watch the hard way watch him flip his hips on the quick game. Little come out of the fake, go back a little bit more, watch it, boom, ball's out. Flips the hips, accurate throw. This kid's a player.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He can play, and I love the fact that he's not all right-handed all the time, that everything's the right. A lot they got him well balanced, working to the opposite way too.
So I think one of these are either at the California JUCO or and then the other ones this is NEO here because they're playing in Texas because that's that league.
Right.
So he's playing either 2 JUCO films or it's a high school and a JUCO film, but he's at 2 different places. But he raised it up there. He got saved by that guy. I don't know what that was.
I'm gonna recruit him. I think. Are you?
Yeah, I'd probably look at
where I am. Yeah,
I'd bring him in. I want to bring him in. I'd probably go visit the kid and see him at practice.
Yes, I want to see him. I'm one of those guys. I'm not hard recruiting a kid till I see him with my own eyes, naked on the field. Agreed.
Yeah, and it just all depends. John, it all depends on what we're doing. Like if I'm just running triple option, then there's a debate, right?
Right. Fair enough.
I don't know if you can run. If I'm going to run triple and we're so loaded at but now if we're going to run some shit and we're going to run RPO, keep him in the box, sprint him out here and there, he's still athletic enough to run speed option or something, but he ain't going to run triple, and that's what we do. Then obviously, here we go practice. I like seeing practice film.
Me too. And he can run. He can also give you a little power. You saw his athletic ability when he scissored the guy.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate. The ball comes out. He's decisive, which I like.
Yes.
Not a whole lot of problem. He's decisive and accurate, especially in the quick game and the intermediate game. Ball's coming out.
And he's also what I like about the kid. He can make some off-platform throws with his feet. Like his feet don't have to be set, even though we like to get them set. He's made some throws where his frame, but his feet are always in. He's always ready to throw. It seems like.
Yep. Well, the next pocket throw, right before he throws, when he puts his front foot down, let me see something real quick, if we can see it. Okay, that's the shuffle RPO.
The power.
Yep. Okay, this is practice. It's too far away. Nice job sidestepping. Go back. Oh, that's the Zach Wilson pro day. Escaping to your left. That kid's pretty good there now.
Fooled.
Yeah, what are you doing with that kid? You recruiting him?
If I'm running,
I gotta go see him. He's given me enough. I got to go watch him. I'm intrigued to get on a plane and go watch him practice.
Exactly my thoughts. Let's one more before we get out of here. We got one left. I agree with you. I'd put him in as a B plus. I'd put him as a B. If we're not giving pluses, minuses, I'm gonna put him as a B. I'm gonna go watch him and I'm gonna see what we're doing. Are we gonna run RPO this year based on personnel? Are we gonna run triple? Then I'm probably not gonna recruit him. But
and you know what else? It's B with an arrow pointing up. I like. I think I think you got something to work with there, JB. I do.
Yeah, he could be an A guy for us if we're running RPO.
Yes, that's right. Agreed.
Here's another QB. Let me go back to the beginning here. This kid is a Caden Stone, senior 2020. I don't know why it's old. It must be. I don't know. He's a little guy now. Another quarterback. Ironically, we got quarterbacks today. It's funny. We're probably going to get a lot of quarterbacks sitting in this film because it's last chance Q. But here's a kid who's a small kid. Just threw that up for grab. That's just not something.
That doesn't do anything for me there.
Yeah, we don't like to see that, quarterbacks. We don't want to see you throw it down the middle late. That's cardinal sin number 1 for a quarterback error. Don't throw the ball down the middle late. I'd rather just see you eat that one and throw it and go out of bounds.
Now, nice throw there. Go back for a second.
Yep.
Yes, I'm just talking about presence. Go back to that last one from the beginning.
This
right
one?
now. Oh yeah, and at the top, freeze it when he sets up.
Okay.
As he's looking, freeze. Why?
I don't know. I don't know
this is not. It's not dash. We're not moving the pocket. Why is he not setting his feet and throwing on time? Why there's no pressure here?
Sean, I want to. That's a great fucking point because this is what we're seeing with Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. These guys in the NFL, we're seeing this when we want to see him climb the pocket. We're seeing him run out, and it's a harder throw, and the defense moves with you.
Yeah, sit there, set your feet, go through your progressions, deliver the ball on time, and then if everything breaks down, then go make me a play. There's no reason to leave the pocket here. It's presence. See, right now I'm bothered by this, which makes me not want to watch it. I want to give every kid the benefit of the doubt. But I feel like he's only comfortable when he's outside the pocket making an off-schedule play because I'm just going to tell you how I feel. If you can't make the simple on-schedule play, I don't really care if you can make the off-schedule play. That's not how we're designing our offense.
I'm the same way, and I wouldn't recruit this kid just on 2 plays. I only need 2 plays. As you know, you need 2 plays. People don't realize that. But I'm not going to recruit that kid, Sean. But this is what I see, though, out of that. Hopefully you guys can learn from this particular kid. Son, just keep working it. You said 2020, so I don't know where you are now. But obviously, I wouldn't have recruited you in 20. I'm not going to recruit you in 22. No offense. But let me ask you this, Sean. We're seeing this kid, and we see a clean pocket. We like to see him climb and make a throw.
Or sit there, right? Climb when necessary, right?
Get out, right? Throw it. Why? Whose fault is that? The coach.
Because you know what happens on this? He goes and makes that play. You know what everybody in the film room, oh, what a great play, what a great play. Dude, you made a play you didn't have to make. Sit your ass in the pocket.
The coaching is allowing this.
Let that slide, right. Goes back to our mechanics.
Is all-time low.
Right.
Quarterback coaching is at all-time low. How do you know this kid right here isn't Kyler Murray 5 years ago? And he was being coached to do this. And now we're seeing Kyler Murray because he's such a fucking phenom. And now we're seeing him and he's still doing it because nobody corrected him then.
Because he's a playmaker. Right. It bothers me when I see a perfect clean pocket, which you beg for, and you run into trouble, make a spectacular play, and everybody's hooting and hollering. I get it. And then I go back and watch tape with you, and I simply say, why? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't either. That offensive line's destroying. They're doing their job, giving you the pocket to deliver the ball from where you're supposed to. If I call dash, and we're moving the pocket, go on now. That's a play you're strictly sitting in the pocket. Why bail? It tells me pocket presence is a problem and that you're not comfortable making me a simple play, and it bugs me.
Yeah, it does, Sean.
I can't recruit him to a big school. I don't know where he is now. That's 2 years ago, like I said. So I hope he's doing well and improved on that. But coaches, you can't accept that because you're not doing your team or the kid any favors at all.
But I think on Tuesday on our first install, Sean, I think the first thing out of the whole fucking show is mediocrity our new excellence? And that is exactly what we see.
Well, and you saw, if you start comparing the kid, 2 quarterbacks, not him, but the one before that we said we gave a B, when it jumps out of the screen at you, you know. Now, expertise, we can dive a little deeper, but I can put a side screen and say, here's 3 quarterbacks and split the screen 3 ways and say, you tell me in 3 throws who you're recruiting first. Of course we know who we're recruiting first, right?
The big old tall 6'6" NFL-looking kid, right?
Where the ball's out and he's making plays to his left, his right, in the pocket, out the pocket, off schedule, and on time. And then all the measurables of a powerful arm and accurate throws, all that. But I saw 10 plays, I'd recruit him. It's pretty easy to recruit him.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's unfortunate. That isn't something that I'm going to recruit on that one, Sean. But, hey, Sean, this has been another great install number 2 of Last Chance Q. I just want to keep talking and just go into episode 3. I can't wait. We got fucking 4 or 5 days off now. And
hey, you call me on a Saturday morning and want to do 15 minutes on Hendon Hooker, Tennessee's game. Dude, I'll plug that thing and we'll go. See, we're gonna get greedy. You and I, we are.
John, I got so much. Out there. I got 9 new NFL tapes yesterday, and I just got them uploaded into DVSport. I mean, the film that we have is unlimited. So everybody out there listening, please understand, we're not going to just throw the whole fucking kitchen sink at everybody right now. We're going to build this show up, and we're going to show film, and we're going to start taking fans. Hey, you want to see Kyler Murray? You want to see Derek Carr? You want to see Patrick Mahomes? We'll break them down.
Yep. It's going to be, and I don't want to step outside my you're the man here.
No,
I don't want to step outside my boundaries here and saying, but I think every now and again, too, we're going to mix in. We say, listen, we got all this show, but we're going to take a 15-minute segment and we're going to break down Mahomes and show you why he's special, where it's a standalone YouTube clip or whatever, wherever we're putting it on all the platforms, right? So you could sit there and say, oh, so it doesn't get caught up in the other, 75 minutes or whatever we're doing. We're going to, it's unlimited because we don't have anybody telling us, well, you only get 2 minutes with Patrick Mahomes. That doesn't do it justice. So I think you're with me because we both love what we do in passion and we want to keep talking it. And this is going to end up being the best internet football show you got.
There's no question, brother. I'm just excited as hell to keep going. I'm excited. I'm excited as hell to keep doing this, and I can't wait for the third install. And we're gonna keep showing film. We're gonna keep breaking down film for other kids and helping coaches learn how to evaluate and recruit. And Pete Carroll is one of the greatest evaluators. We broke him down today with Nick Saban, both two great recruiters. You see why Pete Carroll's done a hell of a job with Walker, the current rookie running back, who's maybe the NFL Rookie of the Year. And then their corner from Texas A&M Kingsville, Division II school, maybe very well be the next Richard Sherman who can run. So understand, you don't got to play D1. It's never too late, and there's always somebody watching you because the eye in the sky just don't lie. So with that being said, Sean, it's been another great one. We're going to end this one, and we'll see you on Tuesday next week for another install, which will be the third install of Last Chance Q. I'm excited as hell, and like I said, I can't stand up. You'll see all 2 inches. So,
hey, dude, when you're hung like a field mouse, you get it pumped up, brother.
Hey, like pissing on cotton, quiet as shit. Hey, I appreciate everybody.
I love you, brother.
Side. Hang tight, Sean. The Last Chance Q. Let's go. And I just cannot wait to bring over 60 years of knowledge and experience to not only the novice football fan, Sean, but to the veteran football coach as well.
You love it, you better live it, drink it, eat it, smoke it, and then every now and again wake up with it laying next to you.
The premier football coaching show on the internet.
I've looked forward for the longest time to be with somebody whose energy and knowledge of football and teaching and no nonsense, but understands the old game, the in-between game, the new game, and combines them all.
Last Chance Q with the great legend.